Yo, what is up guys? Directed What If's back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be discussing what if Deku ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi.
Happy on the asset social, man. Loyalty over royalty, y'all niggas know the vibes.
Fuck your kill this beat, bitch.
Whoop it, bitch, I'm outside of some movie.
So let's start from the very beginning of the seasons. Let's start at season 1. In season 1, he's coming home from school after Bakugo just threw his notebook hero analysis for the future, book number 13, out the window. And Deku starts to think, what if I had the power to beat him? And what if I had the power to just prove everybody wrong? He walks by a fruit and he notices it looks like a different fruit than others. It's a huge one, and he takes a huge bite out of it, and he remarks that, this tastes kinda weird for a fruit. And then something falls out of his backpack, and he turns around to pick it up, and it's already on the floor. So instead of bending over his body, he naturally just doesn't want to pick it up. So he reaches for it, but his arm stretches out, as it was a necessity, as you would say, to him. And he is shocked, and he looks at the fruit he had in his other hand, and he says, oh no, this is not good. And he goes under the tunnel and just thinks it was just a late blooming quirk, when in reality it was a devil fruit. And it disables you from swimming for the rest of your life. And this version makes your body rubber. So he's walking under the bridge, and he's practicing his All Might laugh whenever he's a hero. And the sludge villain comes out, and his body automatically turns to rubber, and he can't really get into his body because it's rubber. And he throws Deku into a wall, but it doesn't hurt. And Deku's surprised at this himself, as he clenches his fist and throws a punch, and it goes across and sends the guy flying. As All Might pops out of the tube, he is carried with him, as the shockwave is still pretty big. Let's say that shockwave was equivalent to his Delaware Smashes at the UA Sports Festival. If you don't know what that is, go on YouTube and search up Deku at the UA Sports Festival. With All Might being dragged away with the sludge villain, he remarks, whoever did that, they've sure got to be one tough kid. And he throws the sludge monster off of him, who is easily weakened. He can tell too, because he's not retaliating against All Might. And he puts him in the bottle, and he walks up to Midoriya, and Midoriya is doing his old little flustered thing, and he asks for an autograph. But All Might's already done it, as he's just that fast. And he says, boy, would you like to inherit my power? Not saying that he's fit for it, but seeing that his body looks a bit different from others because it's rubber, which already automatically boosts his defenses and strengths exponentially from others. So he says, inherit? What am I supposed to inherit from you? And he starts laughing. My power, you idiot. And he slaps Deku on the head, but it doesn't faze him. And he is surprised. All Might is surprised. And he takes a step back and is ready to do a Detroit Smash, and he does the Detroit Smash. Deku uses his first gear form and punches right through it and hits All Might directly in the face, sending him flying back. But you know how whenever All Might is being pushed back, he's still on his feet. That's how he is. Boom, and they slide back on his feet. And he's like, you're one tough kid. And he gives him a piece of hair to eat. And he says, eat this. And Deku is really surprised. And that was actually the final day of school. They have 10 months to train for the sports festival, and All Might is training him to the very max. But actually, since Deku got it a bit earlier than usual, way earlier, and plus he has the Gomu Gomu no Mi, also known as Gum Gum Fruit, since he has both of those, the powers combined, he calls it full body. Full body. He calls, wait, hold up. What should this be called? Let's take a step back. How about the form that he uses the most is Gum Gum Body. and then he'll use One For All if he really needs to, because One For All still hurts him a bit no matter if he's rubber or not. So he's training with All Might all day, every day, and it starts to take a toll on his body, but not like it did beforehand. And he actually cleans up the entire garbage thing, the entire beach. He cleans up the entire beach 6 months early. So he has 4 months to train on his own. And he spends those 4 months training with the Gum Gum fruit instead of One For All, which is what he was training with. So now that he has powers, the UA Sports Festival flies by, or the time to go to the UA Sports Festival flies by, and he ends up at the entrance exam. But he's not the once cowardly kid he once was. All that mental and physical training that he did with All Might and by himself has strengthened him, mentally and physically, of course. And Bakugo walks up to him, remarking that he won't pass the entrance exam, but Bakugo doesn't even see Deku, as it's a flash, and Deku is holding him by his leg, upside down, and he says, "Excuse me, what did you say to me?" And everyone is shocked as the entrance exam officially starts, and President Mike asks, "What are you guys waiting for? Go!" And Deku is the fastest one, as his arms stretch really far out, and he is able to basically swing like Spider-Man. Bakugo is second, and Ida is third. And Deku easily gets around 160 to 200 points, so he decides to let the others get some points before he wins. And the huge 0-pointer comes up, and he knows his Gum Gum body won't be enough. So he uses One For All at 100%, and he jumps up. Not even seeing Uraraka. Uraraka admires this. And he pulls back his fist and yells, "Smash!" Not from the depths of his heart, but from outside and the depths of his heart. With the Gum Gum, there's no backlash on his arms this time, or his legs. It jumps up, and then boom! The entire robot is incinerated, as that entire road basically is done. Like, that half of the city completely destroyed, like absolutely incinerated. He eviscerated it, and the robot is nowhere to be seen. And Bakugo says, "We're breathing him," as everyone's remarking where he is. And Ida thanks him and says, "Did you even see the little girl?" And Uraraka's already out, and she thanks him. And Deku, not being the shy guy he once was, he says, "No problem. I hope you get into UA, and I hope we see each other again." And she blushes, as she didn't know this small little boy would be this strong or even this confident. And she takes a sudden liking to him. And Recovery Girl walks out asking who needs to be healed. And only one of them needs to be healed, and it's Uraraka, because she still has a couple of cuts and bruises on her from that robot smashing everything around. And Deku goes home and gets the entrance exam letter later on, and it tells him that he's passed, way beyond anyone else, around 240 points. And Bakugo, in second, had 101 points. And he's happy to hear that, because he has officially passed his rival. Fast forward to UA's first day, and let's get on with that little test that they ran with Shota Aizawa. And Deku is easily first on the first one. Let's say the 50 meters is the first one. Boom. He runs, and with his long legs and with One For All having no backlash on his body whatsoever, he looks a lot more muscular. And he's running this with ease and actually gets 2 seconds. 2 seconds, everyone says, and their mouths drop, as everyone else averages around 6 or 7 seconds, except for Bakugo, who got 5 or 6, and with Ida getting 4. And the next one, the grip test. He squeezes it with all his might, creating a little shockwave. Boom! Whenever he crushes the entire thing, and the thing rings out 3,000. Actually, Aizawa brings over a second one, a stronger one, meant for All Might. And he says, "Try this one." And boom! It says 300,000. 300,000? How? let's get to the side jumps. They side jump, right? They're doing the side jumps, and Deku is easily doing this, as he's using One For All at its maximum potential without any backlash whatsoever. And we finally get to the throwing part. Deku lines up for a softball throw, and his power is so strong that within the first seconds of him throwing it, everyone is sent flying back, even Aizawa himself. The shockwave is that big, and his arm keeps on stretching out, and that counts. And he finally lets go with 100% of One For All, and that creates an even bigger shockwave. And boom! The ball is sent flying 400,000 meters. Yes, 400,000 meters. And everyone remarks, "What? How did you do that?" And he says, "I just trained a lot with my quirk." And they're all, "Dang, we should have spent the entire summer training, not waiting." And they all smack their foreheads. And Bakugo runs up to him about to explode him. Aizawa's about to stop this, but he says, "No, Aizawa, let him." And Bakugo remarks, "Damn, you little bastard. You think you're really that confident that I'm not going to hurt you?" And then boom! An explosion rings out, and everyone's sent back a little. And that's Bakugo's maximum, and it barely put a scratch on Deku. There's no damage on Deku, as a matter of fact. And Bakugo is surprised, as he thought that this would actually be the one to end him. And then he punches Bakugo right in the gut, sending him flying into the air. He jumps up and uses 60% of One For All to send him into the ground, and he's already extremely hurt with a broken arm. Thank you guys so much for watching. What If Deku Had the Gomu Gomu no Mi, Devil Fruit from One Piece. And this was just the part 1. Part 2 will probably be out next week with What If Deku Had an Amplified Quirk Part 3. So stay tuned for that. Remember to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you know whenever a new What If is coming out. And I will see you guys all in a day or two. Peace out.